Welcome to another video review. This is the Cardboard Stacker with Sunrise City from Clever Mojo Games. In this game, you and up to 3 players are city founders. While everyone is trying to contribute by building the best city as possible, everyone's goal is to score the most benchmark tokens. You get benchmark tokens by moving past the 10-point mark on the scoreboard by creating zone districts, constructing buildings, and bonus points from roll cards. But the game isn't how much you score, but how well. If you manage to hit 10 points exactly, then you get 2 benchmark tokens. Before the game starts, all players select a color of their choice, which comes along with 6 bidding chips and a scoring pawn placed next to the scoreboard. 4 roll cards are distributed and then drafted. There are 3 rounds in Sunrise City. Each round is divided into 4 phases, and then all players draw 4 card tiles and 4 building tiles before each round. Phase 1 is the preparation round. Everyone simultaneously selects and reveals a roll card. The player at the lowest number goes first, and the round proceeds in clockwise order. Rolls help you break normal rules such as tile placement and score points on different occasions. In the zoning phase, players place their zone tiles. The main rules for placing zones is at least one sidewalk must be touching at least one tile. Placing a zone tile next to another zone tile of the same type creates a district which scores 1 point per each match. There are also community tiles which scores when constructing a building of the same type next to it. These are not zone tiles, so you can't place buildings on top of it. After playing a community tile, draw another zone tile and take another turn. In phase 3, the bidding phase, you are going to claim zone tiles so you can score on them in the building phase. Everyone builds one at a time. You can place bidding chips on one zone or on top of any other zone with chips. If you manage to stack 2 of your chips together, then you have closed the bid for that bidding spot and no one else can bid on it. When all bids have been placed, all chips except for the topmost ones are removed. The owner of the chip can start constructing building tiles and score bonus points on that zone tile in the next phase. Construction is the last and final phase. We are now going to place building tiles on the zone you own or onto any existing building. Buildings go across 2 zone tiles and come either as one color or split with 2 different colors. Also on the building tiles are primary points, which is located in the middle, and bonus points located on the corners. If placing a building tile on the first floor, you need to at least own one of the 2 zones with a bidding chip. You score the primary points and both bonus points if you have bidding chips on both zones. Placing a tile with a zone with another player, you get the primary points and the bonus points of one side. The other player will get the other bonus points. You can also place a tile with one of the zones unclaimed, but no one gets those bonus points for that side. You can also place your building tiles on top of any other existing buildings. If you build on an odd number floor above the first, you get what's called floor points. Building on the 3rd floor means you get 1 extra point. Then on the 5th floor, 2 points. Then on the 7th, 3 points, and so on. You can use these floor markers to help remind players which buildings will score next. There are certain rules to follow when placing building tiles. First, you may not put your first floor building across the waterways. You may make builds across buildings with waterways later on upper floors. Buildings cannot be built slanted. For colors, buildings of the same colors must be placed with the same color. There are 5 different colors: residential red, commercial blue, industrial yellow, recreational green, and mixed purple. Purple is the only exception because it counts as a wild. It can be placed on top of buildings with any color, and buildings of any color can be placed on top of it. Once all the building tiles are used, the round has ended and the next round begins. Everyone redraws 4 zones and building tiles. In rounds 2 and 3, the first player will select which direction the city will be building. From City Hall, he gets to select either north, south, east, or west. On the selected direction, players can only build in that area. After the 3rd round, all benchmark tokens are added up and the player with the most wins the game. And before going into the review, let's see a few roll cards. The county supervisor scores when any other player scores for district points. The mayor can bid on top of closed bidding in the bidding phase. And the developer can make construction on building on the first floor, even if it's across waterways. And now let's go into the review. I really like the cover design of the box, and it's very sturdy for a good reason. The tiles are the heart of the game's components. The building tiles are the thickest I've ever seen. It carries a bit of weight and it also fills most of the box. Still, these tiles really make the game stand out. The cards have a glossy plastic linen finish, and while the benchmark tokens are not cut with precision, it doesn't really bother me that much. The floor markers are also a very nice addition. The rules are written well enough to understand the game, but it still needs a little bit of polish. It's wordy for my taste. It does give a good amount of examples, and it gives a reference on the back of the book. Moving on to gameplay, the best way to play is with 4 players. I don't think the game goes too long, and the downtime isn't too far stretched either, since everyone is making small decisions. But my reason to play 4 players is that you get more options out there for making your city. The rules are really cool, and I like games where rules have all unique abilities. While it seems a little rule breaking, it gives a little bit of edge to the game, which makes it interesting. Most of the rules have 1-point scoring, which doesn't seem a lot, but when done right, can help you score those double benchmark tokens. The scoring system is something I haven't seen before, and it's certainly the dividing point from players that can manage the double scoring and those who don't take advantage of it. You can try to go for big points, but planning your way to get exactly 10 points is the best way to win the game. And I also like the bidding system. Everyone starts with the equal number of chips, and you don't lose any chips in the game, and you can still construct building tiles on zones with only 1 chip. However, the game gets a little repetitive because the second and third rounds of the game seems to be the same as the first. For a 2 and 3 player game, I find the game to be a little less manageable, especially when placing building tiles. Less players means that there are less zones appearing on the board, therefore less options. And there's something about the community tiles I don't like, and that might be it's because there's more number crunching. When going for exactly 10 points, many players forget to account the community tile for scoring. Each of the type of zones and buildings do have a symbol to tell them apart. If you are colorblind, you can use the symbols to see what kind of zone or building a tile is. I'm not colorblind myself, but let me know if this design works. However, the icons are a bit small and it could have been a little bigger. If you think about the game as a city planning game, then I think it would work out thematically. But I find it a little strange that in the game, building buildings doesn't flow the same way thematically. Building up, that makes sense. But building different types of buildings on top of other ones, or building new floors across roads really doesn't. I might be a little too picky on the subject, but I don't really think it matters as much. I had really good luck bringing this game to non-gamers, and it's a good game for gamers as well. It has enough depth for a good medium weight, but light enough to be enjoyed by many types of gamers. Final thoughts. I say, give Sunrise City a try because it's a really good game. It does feel like building a city right on top of your table, and at the end, you'll have a well-built metropolis. And hey, you're stacking cardboard after all. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, like, share, and subscribe. You can support our channel by visiting our Patreon page and follow us on Twitter. This is the Cardboard Stacker, and keep on stacking games.